Okay, this is MUCIAN, and in our first video we happened to look at how we came up with this design, all of it. Let me delete this. We happened to look at this, how we came up with this. From here, how we put the shadows, how we brought in the logo, okay? And the next thing is we are going to be looking at how to place in layers, because we are going to be using a software that favors us to use what? Layers. That is After Effects. We may use After Effects or Premiere Pro. So I haven't decided on what basically we are going to be using. Okay. So now, since we have our project that is that, okay. So now in Illustrator, if we are to form layers, we click here. If you happen to see this symbol, so if we click on it, are you seeing it is basically one layer? The moment we remove this eye, it all goes off. Okay, so we are going to be forming layers for different designs that we want to be showing up. Okay, so we come here, we get these layers, that is that one. So far we have 1, 2, 3. So we design 3, then the fourth one is the background layer. So we have 4 layers. So we are going to leave this as the BG, that is the background layer. Then we are going to get this one. Let us separate this by ungrouping it. Then we have this as the logo, Ctrl X. Then we are not going to be tampering with its shadow. We shall leave the shadow there. Okay. Or let me think of way to do it. No, let us leave the shadow alone. So, or else the other thing we would do is, let us first put the shadow. Let us first place the logo. So if I just Ctrl V and paste, the logo may end up landing anywhere. Okay, so I Ctrl Z to undo. Then if I'm pasting it, I have to click Ctrl Shift V to paste in place. Or what I have to do, I can also go here, that is edit, then paste. Are you seeing that is the Ctrl V, whereby if I click it, I can paste the logo anywhere depending on the software. So if I want to place it in place, okay, paste it in place, then are you seeing this? So I want to go back to that same place where I had cut it, but now on another layer. So basically that is it. So I have that, but before I do that, maybe I first go back, have that on this shadow that I have. If I go back before I undid it, let me see its appearance, feel that I wanted to play around with this. So Ctrl Shift Z to redo it. So then I get this and delete it. So I want this. Okay, so I've already given it a layer, so let us rename that logo. Okay, only for easy identification. That is why we rename these. Okay, then we press that. Then after that, we can switch off their eyes to mark what we've done. So I place there and do that. For with those using designing software, Illustrator in the CC version, like CC19, you can select what you want. The moment you zoom in, it zooms specifically that part. So if I select matte, then that sign, MUC, then that. I'm holding shift as I click on those different words. Then after having chosen these, then I cut, Ctrl X. Wow, I only selected one. So if I get this, shift that, as I select them, I'm holding shift, so I click Ctrl X to cut, then Ctrl Shift V to paste in place. Okay, they are now pasted as on one layer. Okay, so now I do not want this shadow, or what I can do, I can give it its own layer, Ctrl X. So if I bring it, I come, make sure I'm selecting this because I want it below the logo. So I'm selecting the BG, that is the background, then Ctrl Shift V. Are you seeing that? So I name it shadow, that is the logo what? Logo shadow, like that. So no, that is the logo shadow, like that. So that is my logo shadow. Then logo only, so BG logo shadow, logo only. Then when I come to this, I rename this, let us see, that is the logo what? Company name. So I have that. Then besides that, from the company name, okay, I think that I have this logo. Did I place this shadow in the right place? Yes. So that is how it appears, but the company name should be below the logo shadow and stuff. Are you seeing that? So the moment I pull it, automatically it forms that shadow being just below. Okay, then from there, what else? So we need to have this. Okay, I've clicked Ctrl 0 to have it go back to the main framing of seeing the whole workspace. Then from there, now I come to this part. Okay, I want to get this, Ctrl X, then paste this on this layer, that is Ctrl Shift V, the information. Okay, information or info. So there is a way. It is always better when you are renaming, and most of the times you may not be the one that is going to be animating this. You have to make sure that as you are basically designing, you don't use abbreviations when naming this, because you may end up confusing that person who is basically doing what? Designing, because he does not know your shortcuts. Okay, background, let me even put yellow. I can even change the color. Okay, so are you seeing this? So that is it. Then from there, I want to put these contacts. Okay, so for any effect that I want to put in when animating, it requires me to form a layer for that effect. So if I want these numbers not to show at the same time, one to first come and another one to come, when I'm using Illustrator when designing, I have to make sure that these two numbers, phone numbers, are written on different layers. So if I get here, then get my tool, select them, then copy. I think that, then I remain with this one. Now on this other layer, I Ctrl Shift V, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Shift V. So it is happening because I had not maybe given it I'm just copying fonts. It wasn't designed alone, so I bring it here, then get this and try to align it. Okay, so I can click here, then try to align it. Okay, like that. So I can move this. I'm seeing that. So after aligning it, now I can, I think that, cut it again, then paste it to the layer that I want it to be. Control Shift V. Are you seeing that? Then that is, I call it tail 1. Then after calling it tail 2, then I get this other one, I paste it here, that is a Control Shift V. Then I call it, that is tail 2. Then from that tail 1, tail 2, then now I have this and I have that. You get it? So they are all well named. Okay, so after making sure that all my layers are basically well named, I have the right workspace. Okay, so if I want to see the dimensions of my workspace to get well sure, are you seeing that? So the moment I click on this adboard, it displays something like this. Okay, so if I go here and look, are you seeing the width is 1920 pixels and the height is 1080 pixels. So now I've confirmed the height and width of my workspace. Okay, so after that I click in this tool and it disappears. So in case I'm designing something of these dimensions but I want it to have the front and the back, I can come here. So let's assume I started with the front or the back. So I can come here. Once I've done that, now I can get this with the Alt to duplicate it. Okay, then Shift. Then Shift helps it move in a straight line. So if I release it there, are you seeing? So now I have the front and the back, but now today I just need one face. Okay, so I Ctrl Z, so it disappears. Now I click in this. So now at least we have the different layers that we would want to import into After Effects, okay, or Premiere Pro, or any software that you may think of using when you are designing this logo. But before that, before continuing to that part, we have other stuff that we would want to include on this on this design. I've showed you how to do that. Now we are going to be including other layers like the images, yes, the MUCIAN technologies, selling, leasing and maintaining photocopying machines, and these are their contacts. So besides that, we would want, as this video is going on, this person going to be using this, I want to make it in a format that it is basically a video format. Let me save this. Let me save it as Sarah Designs 2 After Effects or Premiere OPR, that is Premiere Pro. Okay, so then I save it. I'm going to be saving it as an AI project. Okay, so besides that, yes, so I save it as an AI project. But remember, as I told you, we are not going to be only using these text, so we also have images that we would want to be using. And now we are going to be, now in the next video, that is our third video, we are going to be working on images in Photoshop. Then after I show you on how to bring them into Illustrator, okay, so that we may play around with them depending on what our client gave us to do, to design. Okay, so endeavor to see that you subscribe to the Munya Scripts Lifestyle channel and Gallery Films, and also endeavor to see that you look for my music on YouTube. That is Gallery Films Production. That is the YouTube channel with some of my music. and on any digital streaming platform that you may think of, Spotify, iTunes, Tidal. And we are looking at seeing that we also start releasing animated series on Distrokid, on Spotify and some other platforms that you do not need to miss out. Okay, so endeavor to see that you subscribe and get to know for anything new that happens to come along that we happen to launch. Okay, endeavor to see that you be part of it and you become part of it. Thanks for watching. Remember, in our third video we are going to be looking at working on photos that are basically to be used in the project. Okay, besides the text that we've created, this text. Okay, so we need to give examples of what they are leasing, that stuff. Okay, so endeavor to see that you stay watching and you're part of this channel. Okay, thanks for watching, and a lot more is coming. Endeavor to see that you subscribe, you click that button, and you feel, if at all you happen to feel that these videos are basically important to you, to facilitate this work, you can donate to us. Okay, through our description there is a link that you can click on, and endeavor to see that we also have a project that is yet to start, where we are going to be traveling different districts, different places, to teach creative people on how to earn from their content, how to design, how to, like, equipping them with the skills that may ease in their work as creators, as content creators, as musicians, as anyone who is basically dealing with the digital content. So endeavor to see that you support us. To do that, donate button, donate us something to see that we change the lives of the creative people in Uganda for the better. Okay, thanks for watching, and continue with us to the third part. Thank you.